Hey guys, this is Alex Obrand. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I just had a webinar last week actually. I had 500 plus people live on a webinar, and it was about building your business and marketing and everything that I do with my business and with my channel. But I asked everybody on the webinar, I put up a poll and I asked them, what is the number one limiting belief that's held you back from building your business or just being committed to growing your business? And the options were too old, right? They felt like they're too old, or they missed the opportunity, they're too late to the boat, or it was not tech savvy enough. And the other one was a lack of self-confidence / a fear of failing, a fear of failure. 48+% specifically selected a lack of confidence and a fear of failure. And those numbers really hurt me because I'm like, oh my God, these people, they've had great ideas for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So it's not really a time issue, right? Even if they've never had the money to, I guess, invest in their business, they could have been resourceful, right? If they needed strategies, they could have watched my videos, they could have read books 20 years ago. So I'm like, what's holding them back besides themselves? And I guess it's the fear of failure. So I wanted to make this video for if you're in that same situation, if you had an idea for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and you have the money, you have the resourcefulness, you have the strategies, there's nothing logical holding you back. The only thing holding you back most likely is a fear of failure. So I want to make this video specifically breaking that down, because if you have the strategies, if you have the marketing, none of it matters if you truly don't believe in what you're doing. But most importantly, if you assume that it's going to fail, you'll never even give it a chance to get off the ground. And so I want to make this video to dive into it. So aside from that webinar, in my career, I've spoken to 10,000 plus entrepreneurs, existing entrepreneurs, everybody across the spectrum. And the biggest issue with people, whether or not they signed up with me or not, but whether or not they really grew their business, was that fear of failure, right? And so over time, I've really gotten to hear people's stories and their life and how, I've had this business idea for 20 years and I've just been scared. What if I fail? And what if this and that? But then they break down, they're not making the money they want to make. They're being treated like crap at their job. They're being treated badly. They're not living the lifestyle, right, in terms of their house or their car or their kids' schooling, right? They don't have anything that they want or desire. But then I'm like, okay, so let's reframe this. So you're afraid of failing, but wouldn't you say that you're failing every single day by not taking action on your dreams? When you're thinking about failing, think about, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I change nothing, and I want to have a different result, it's insanity, right? If you show your kids, hey, I took a risk, I'm starting this business, I'm committed to it, I'm gonna grow it, whether or not it fails in your eyes, you still get the learning lessons that you can apply to another business. Maybe that was just a bad business opportunity for you, but the skill set that you learned, you can apply that to the next business, right? That's what happens with so many entrepreneurs. Your first business is never probably just gonna be your most successful most of the time, but now your kids say, okay, wow, my dad or my mom, they took a shot, they took a leap of faith. I wanna be a writer, I wanna be an actor, I wanna start my business. If they could do it, I could do it as well, and just take the leap of faith. Don't be afraid of failing in your business. The only thing with business that's a failure is never getting started, because then your chances of success are zero. Like if you never start, you never put yourself out there, you never make a video, there's 0% chance, not 1%, not 2%, 0% chance you're going to be successful. But if you put yourself out there, you grow, maybe that business doesn't work out, you don't lose those learning lessons, right? You probably had some success, you had some learning lessons, you take that, you go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what could I have done differently? Maybe it was just a bad business model, right? Let me take these skills, go into another business. And so I always like to reframe that. Again, people tell me, I'm not making the money I want to make, I want to move, I want to pay off my debt, I want to do all these things, but oh no, but if I want a different result, I don't want to do anything differently, right? It's like people that want to lose weight. I love eating McDonald's, right? I don't want to work out. I love my current lifestyle, but I want a six-pack. And it's like, so you want a different, amazing result that very few people have, but you want to do what everybody else does. It's like you're kind of mediocre in a sense, and you want the extraordinary result. It's just not happening. And most people I tell that to, they're like, oh, that's interesting. I've never thought of it like that, but I'm so scared. I'm not going to do anything about it. So I'm like, hey, if you're watching this channel, you're still watching this video, which I hope. I'm like, okay, if you're watching this, think about it, but then do something about it. Whether or not you ever pay me a dime, that's why I make these videos. It's totally free. You can't say, oh, I don't have the money to work with Alex, or I don't have the money to start my business. Nowadays with online businesses, you could start with 500 bucks. I started with a few $1,000s. I sold my car, funded my business, and I'm doing what I'm doing now 8 years later because I never quit. Yes, I had months where I'm like, oh my God, last month I made this month I made this little amount, what's going on? But I never failed because I never quit. I always kept pushing, I always kept adapting and growing. And so I wanna make this video for the people that, again, have had the idea. I did another poll in that webinar. I'm making this video for the people that have had the perfect idea, but they've never had the right time, or they've never had the perfect timing to start their business. On the webinar, 75% of people said they've been waiting for at least 5 years. The majority of those, 10 to 20 plus years, they've been waiting for the perfect, quote unquote, or the right time to build their dream business. And so at a certain point, again, there's nothing holding them back logistically, logically, financially, with resources, like 10 or 20 years, right? Think of how many vacations they went on. Think of how much money they spent on car leases. Like, they could take that money to start their business. So the only thing holding them back was a fear of failure, even though they're failing based on what their goals are, right? They're failing every single day, not just on themselves, but maybe even their family. Do I want to have the fear of failure control me and just keep living the life that I'm living, never achieve my goal? Or do I want to be different? Do I want to be extraordinary and achieve that extraordinary result? And so I want to make this video specifically on that because, again, we can talk about marketing and business, and I have a lot of videos on that, but if this isn't out of the way up front, if this is always bogging you down, you'll never achieve success because you're never giving yourself a fair shot. If you have any questions, comment below, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.